But let's get down to the worst thing that's ever happened to me on the platform before, because it is the most egregious offense I have ever experienced on the platform in my whole life. I'm gonna show you guys pictures and everything here in just a second. This week, I had an awesome vlog planned for you guys, and I wanted to release it today, but I had some crazy stuff happen in my life. I had some huge Airbnb disasters that really set me back. Let me explain. Now, before I tell you what happened at my Airbnb properties, just let me say, this is not a real estate video. This is an update video about Mission Side Hustle. And before we move on, I wanted to give you guys a cryptic message and see if anybody can figure it out. These are going to be 3 clues for 3 new things that are happening on the channel here very soon in the coming episodes. If anybody manages to guess all 3, I will screenshot your answer and include that in my next video. Additionally, I will include another person and screenshot another answer that is the funniest. So one of these are objective and you have to be correct, and one of these is subjective, and I will pick who I think gives the funniest answer. So let's see them. And here are now your 3 clues, my friends. From the order of most easiest to guess to most difficult to guess, here are those options. A cup with a logo, if you can read. If you can't read, it says Outfast Realty and Investments. A key fob. It is not for my F250. Okay, my F250 does not have these fancy key fobs and options. And the last is a banana. So now that you've seen the guesses, you gotta leave me some good comments. You guys never disappoint. There's always some hilarious comments on here, and I can't wait to see what you guys come up with. And also, if you follow me on Instagram, you have a little bit of an unfair advantage because I already gave a little information as to what this means. So if you haven't followed me on Instagram, check it out now. Now, it has been a very rough couple weeks for me at my Airbnb properties. I've talked about them a lot before, so if you want to go back and hear a bit more about the properties, what I own, how I bought them, what we do with them, I'll go ahead and put some links over here so you guys can click over to those videos. But let's talk about right now what just happened, because it is the most egregious offense I have ever experienced on the platform in my whole life. And this is not dramatic, I'm being dead serious. I'm gonna show you guys pictures and everything here in just a second. Now, the first thing that happened is we had a massive plumbing issue at one of our duplex units. This was a huge job. They had to jackhammer around the toilet, remove the toilet, put new cement in, cut into the lines, clear out the lines, scope the lines. It was a huge mess, and the whole thing resulted in people just putting crap down the toilet. Not actual crap, like crap that doesn't belong in the toilet. So it was a huge mess. It cost me just about $4,000, a little bit upwards of it, and that was an expense that was not expected, so it really stung when it came out. But these are the downsides of rental properties, and things like this do happen. Still, the good outweighs the bad in the long term, but this was definitely a really crappy experience. No pun intended. Or pun intended. But let's get down to the worst thing that's ever happened to me on the platform before. As you guys know, we live and own a triplex, and we rent out one unit to a long-term tenant, and the other unit we just got listed on Airbnb. This is about our 3rd guest, and our first 2 before this were really great, and the property is really cool and it's really nice. But I'll go ahead and put some pictures up here on the screen because I've done some videos about this property before, but I've never showed the finished product. It's beautiful, it came out really well. But unfortunately, this guest that came was an absolute degenerate, and I don't use that term lightly to be insulting. They were actually a very terrible person, especially considering the actions or inactions that have come since their reservation has ended. So this person came with their 2 kids and I guess girlfriend, maybe ex-girlfriend at this point, I don't really know. So here's a story as to what occurred. And I'll give you guys the short version because it's kind of complicated. Starting at about 9 o'clock, the guest had been slamming doors inside the house and outside the house so loud that I could hear it from my unit. Also, I could start to smell, I don't know if I can say this on YouTube, bad smells from something that's illegal. I don't know what you can say on here. Anyway, you guys catch my drift. Something that's not legal that you know, flash forward a couple hours and it's about midnight now, just a little bit after, and the guests have now taken their argument. It's a guy and a girl. They've now taken their argument outside. The girl's pulling away. She scratches her car all along the side of this stone archway. And at that point, I came out here to break up their argument, which did do the trick, and they separated for the evening, but the damage had already been done. The next morning, the argument started up again, and when we came outside to take our kids to school, we saw that window right there had actually been broken from the inside out, and the guy's foot was cut up and bloody, meaning I can put 2 and 2 together. He had kicked that window out and cut up his foot and started bleeding all over the floor. You have to understand my shock and how I was pretty pissed off at that point in time, at which case the guy was very apologetic and assured us that he would pay whatever he had to pay to clear up these damage, and that he was so embarrassed and blah, 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 blah. It's all a lie. So eventually they left, and well, I have the receipts for what happened once we went inside the unit and really saw the full extent as to what had occurred. So this right here is just some of the paper receipts for the damage that occurred while on the property. All in all, we've had to pay for a temporary new window, as well as ordering a new double pane window since they broke that, new blinds since they destroyed all the blinds. Because the doors were left open, the window was broken and the AC was turned on full blast. It completely overloaded the AC unit, frosted it over, and made it drip everywhere, so we had to call a company to come out and get that issue resolved. And then we had to pay extra for cleaning to sterilize the environment, given that there was blood in the area, and we had to do extra cleaning to make sure that was resolved going forward. This person also broke a dresser track on our dresser, and the dresser won't even function as it is until those parts are ordered. This person also smashed the doors into the wall, so I had to get new drywall to repair that and door protectors to go over those sections. And then of course, the logical thing to do once you're all cut up and bloody is to jump into bed and get all the sheets bloody. So we had to get all new sheets as well and throw the old ones away. So of course, after this reservation was over and I sent in a reimbursement request, this person has completely ghosted us. They're not answering Airbnb, and they're not answering me either. So that leaves me with only a few options, which is to involve Airbnb and hopefully have them reimburse, or to take this person to small claims court and sue them, which I will probably try to do both. So moral of the story, am I gonna stop doing Airbnb? No, that's not gonna happen. However, I have taken a few actions that I think are gonna resolve this, hopefully at least a little bit into the future. I've raised our prices and I've started including a security deposit, so that way we'll earn what we deserve, and hopefully it'll also press out people like that only have an intention of renting a place to do no good there and potentially destroy the property. Now in hindsight, I do wish I would have called the cops and really made this guy pay while he was here, but I did let it go and I trusted an Airbnb and this guy to do the right thing. But we'll see if that situation gets resolved the way it should, and I'll update you guys and let you know what happens with that. Anyway, please guys, don't forget, leave me a comment on my message. I wanna see if anybody can actually guess it. Of course, we're gonna have some of the same stuff. We got some more junk removal, some more furniture flips coming, some really big ones, some really high profits. But we got some new stuff coming too, and the channel is gonna keep going higher and higher. As always, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys next time.